Hi guys, welcome back to Melanie's Yoga Couch. I'm Melanie, and today we'll be doing a prenatal yoga sequence for the morning. So come to a comfortable seated position, maybe on a folded blanket, and bring one hand above your stomach, one hand below, or maybe instead one hand to the heart. And we'll start with some really small, subtle pelvic circles. Close your eyes and start to move with the breath. And take this moment as a chance to start wishing yourself thoughts of loving kindness. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be at peace. And then start moving the circles in the other direction, wishing your baby thoughts of loving kindness. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be at peace. Find a neutral position. Gently open the eyes. And then start to come into all fours or tabletop position. Feel free to set a blanket underneath the knees for a bit more cushioning. And depending on what trimester you're in, you might bring the knees a bit wider than hip width apart, or maybe even as wide as your mat. I'm in the third trimester, so I'm going to spread them pretty wide. And then start making some circles with the hips. Again, some pelvic circles just to get into those hips, which might be sore from sleeping. And then allow the circles to move up the spine to the shoulders, working into the shoulders, which also might be sore from sleeping in the fetal position. Allow the movement to get really organic and to feel good. You might sit the hips back all the way to the heels almost in child's pose, coming into cat-cow-like movement in the spine. Perhaps moving your head along with the shoulders and the hips. And then find a neutral position and start the circles in the opposite direction. Maybe close your eyes and just make sure that your breath is nice and deep and calm. And then slowly find a neutral position. Curl the toes under. We're going to look over the right shoulder towards the right hip and slide the hips over to the right, stretching out the left side body. Move back through the middle and look over your left shoulder, sliding the hips to the left. Stretch out your right side. And then find a neutral position. Curl the toes under, bring the feet together, knees wide, about as wide as your mat, and sit the hips back on the heels. This is going to provide a really deep stretch in your feet. If this ever gets too much, just come down to the tops of the feet. Otherwise, bring the thumbs together to your third eye point. Close your eyes if you'd like, and bring the awareness to the breath. We're going to stay here for about 10 breaths. Just trying to stay with the breath, stay with our body throughout these intense sensations. Release anything you don't need to hold on to, especially in the stomach area, jaw, shoulders. The breath remains deep and aware. And release out of the pose. Bring your hands forward, coming into all fours, and lightly tap the top of the feet on the mat, just bringing some life back into those feet. You can shift the hips from side to side, and then stretch your right leg behind you, curling the toes under and pressing the right heel back. Lift the right leg parallel to the ground, toes pointing down. And if you'd like, lift your left arm, reaching the fingertips forward. Changing sides, your left hand comes to the ground. You can shift the hips a bit, stretch your left leg back, toes curled under, find a nice stretch, and then lift the left leg parallel to the ground. Perhaps lifting your right arm parallel to the ground, stretching in both directions. Imagine you're hugging your baby in towards the spine. And then bring the right hand down, left knee down, shifting the hips from side to side. We'll move into some cat-cow. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Never bringing too much pressure into the lower back. We want to be really aware and mindful of the lower back. So just do what feels good. Now we'll shift the hips a bit from side to side. And bring the left foot around the side towards the front of the mat, coming into a lunge. So lift yourself up, bringing the hands to the top of the left knee. And let the hips sink forward. We don't want the knee to come farther than the ankle. So check your left knee. We're going to stretch out the right thigh, right hip flexor. Really good thing to do after sleeping in the fetal position. And we'll change sides, bring your left knee back. Step your right foot forward. You might come into all fours in this transition. For me, I just found it easier to switch the legs from standing on the knees. So let the hips sink forward. Find a nice stretch in your left leg. Long spine, deep breath. This will prevent a lot of back pain, so it's a really great stretch. Now we're going to come into camel pose. Curl the toes under, knees hip width apart, hands to the lower back, fingers down or up. Lift the chest, open the chest. And then come back into all fours, shifting the hips from side to side. Coming into downward facing dog, bend the knees, make sure your feet are about as wide as the mat. Lift your heels, press your heels towards the ground. Inhale, lift, exhale, reach the heels towards the ground. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. Start to walk out the legs as much as you'd like, bending and straightening the legs. If you ever have too much strain in the lower back, again, just come down to your knees, maybe coming into puppy pose or child's pose. We just want to get a nice stretch in the legs here. And then start to walk your hands back, walking yourself up to a standing position, making sure to use your hands and arms for support as you roll your back up to standing. If you have a blanket on the mat, gently move the blanket out of the way and come to a standing position with the feet about hip width apart, maybe a bit wider depending on the trimester you're in. Bring your hands to your stomach. We're going to do some more pelvic circles. This is something that you can do during the birthing process and throughout your pregnancy. I enjoy this as well sometimes at nighttime when I can't sleep and my hips are feeling really sore. And then move in the other direction. making the circles as big or as small as feels good in your own body. And then find a neutral position. I'm just going to come into Tadasana for a moment. So bring your arms to the side. Feeling your lower back. Feel that the tailbone sinks to the ground. Bend your knees slightly. Feel the bottoms of your feet and reach the crown of your head towards the ceiling. Open the chest. Feel your strength and stability here in Tadasana mountain pose. Feel the breath moving through the body. Feel how grounded your feet and legs are. We're going to move on to some goddess squats, so bring your feet a bit wider than the hips. We're going to do about 10. Feel free to take a break at any time you need to. Inhale, draw the arms up overhead, feet are parallel. Exhale, sweep the arms along the sides, bending the knees, perhaps bringing the fingertips to the ground, palms together. Inhale, palms come up through the center of the body. Exhale, arms down. Maybe they come only half the way down. Inhale up through the center of the body. Exhale, bend the knees, coming down for the squat. 8 more. Inhale, lift, reach up. Remember to respect where you are at in the pregnancy, respecting your own breath and how you feel today. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, drawing the energy up through the center of the body, feeling the strength in your legs as you reach up. And exhale, bend the knees, sit low. Now lift. We have about 4 more to go. Feeling the strength in the legs, reach up. Exhale, bend the knees, come back down. Moving at your own pace. 2 more times. And 1 last time, pulling the energy up through the middle, reaching the arms up. And then finding a standing position with the hands at Namaste in front of the heart. Take a moment to check back in with the breath. We're going to move into Warrior 2. So you might make your stance a little bit wider. Turn your right toes out. Left foot parallel to the short end of the mat. Bend your right knee as deeply as it feels good in your body. If you're in a later trimester, you might pull out a little bit, not bending your right knee quite as much. But if you'd like, start to bring your right thigh parallel to the ground and reach your hands in opposite directions. Exhale, bring your hands into Namaste. Inhale, bend the right knee, press your hands out. Exhale, straighten your right leg. Inhale, bend. 1 last time, gathering everything in, straightening your right leg. And exhale, press the hands in opposite directions. 1 breath here in Warrior 2. Let your tailbone sink down. And bring your right forearm to the right thigh. Left arm comes up over the head in extended side angle. Exhale your left arm back, hips come back. Inhale, reach the left arm over the head. 2 more times just like this, reaching the hips back. And then lifting your left arm over the head. 1 last time, moving with the breath. And then inhale, lift yourself up into Warrior 2. Straighten your right leg, turn your right toes in and your left toes out, moving into Warrior 2 on your left side. Adjust your legs however you need to, and then reach the arms in opposite directions. With your next exhale, straighten your left leg. Gather your hands into namaste. Inhale, bend the left knee, press your hands out. 2 more times, feeling the strength in the legs. Bending the knee. 1 last time, gather everything in and press everything out. Move into extended side angle, left forearm on the left thigh, right arm reaches up over the head. Find length in your side body. Exhale, sweep your right arm back behind you, hips come back. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right arm back. 1 last time. Feeling the strength and stability in the legs as you flow through the movement. Inhale, lift back up into warrior 2. And exhale, straighten the leg. Turn your left toes in. And then walk your feet in a little bit. We'll do some more pelvic circles. 1 hand to the top of the stomach, 1 hand to the bottom. And change directions. Just releasing anything that built up. Then we're going to move into goddess pose. So walk the feet in just a little bit. Bring the heels in, toes pointing out. Bend the knees. Come down as deeply as you'd like, letting the tailbone sink down, opening the chest. Bring the arms out to the sides, about shoulder height, palms facing forward. Feel the strength in your upper back. Feel the strength in the legs. And then inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up. We're going to exhale through the mouth, making a ha sound. 2 more times. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up. Exhale through the mouth, ha. 1 last time. Inhale. This might help you to release and ground. Ha. Stay in the squatting position. Release the hands to the thighs, straighten the legs, and then start to bend forward, bring your fingertips to the ground. Bend the knees so that you can bring the knees down to the ground really nice and gently. And then find a comfortable seated position on your heels, maybe putting a blanket or block underneath the hips, or maybe coming to a cross-legged position. We're going to move into some alternate nostril breathing. So take the first 2 fingers of your right hand and bring them to your third eye point. We're going to use the thumb to close the right nostril and the ring finger to close the left nostril. Go ahead and rest your left hand gently in the lap, palm facing up, fingers in Jnana Mudra. Take a deep inhale breath. Close your right nostril with the thumb and exhale out through left. Inhale through your left nostril. Close the left nostril with your ring finger and exhale out through the right nostril. Inhale through the right. Closing right with the thumb, exhale out through the left. In through the left. Exhale out through your right nostril. Inhale into the right nostril. And exhale out through the left. Moving at your own pace. Inhale in through your left nostril. And exhale out the right nostril. Closing the left with your ring finger. Inhale through the right. And exhale out through the left. 2 more rounds. Again, moving at your own pace with ease, with calm, balancing out both sides of the brain, both sides of the body. And the next time that you exhale through the left nostril, just release your hands down to the thighs and take a couple of breaths here through both nostrils, noticing any difference in the breath in the body. And gently open your eyes. Sit yourself on top of a folded blanket in a cross-legged position, and then bring the soles of your feet together to touch for butterfly or Baddha Konasana. This is a great pose for pregnancy. If you'd like, you can stay upright or pull yourself towards the feet gently. Try not to strain in the lower back. A couple more breaths. And slowly roll yourself up, bringing the left fingertips to the mat. Reach the right arm up and over the head. Switching sides, right hand to the ground, left arm up and over. Inhale through the middle, exhale, stretching the side body. Inhale, right fingertips to the ground, left arm reaches up and over. One more time each side. And then come back to the middle. Cross the legs in a comfortable position, sit up nice and tall. And then do some half circles with the head, just gently stretching the neck. Maybe pausing wherever it feels extra good, just to stretch it out. And then lift the head to a neutral position. Bring the hands to the shoulders, fingertips in front, thumbs behind, and start to roll the shoulders. Elbows making big circles. And then we change directions. And release. I'm going to stay up in an upright position, in a seated position. But feel free to come down into Shavasana or lying on your side. For me, because it's the morning, I like to do the first meditation in a seated position. Close the eyes. Bring your awareness to the breath. And if it serves you, you can think with each inhale, Sat, and exhale, Nam. Sat, Nam. Sat, Nam. Sat, Nam. And we'll stay here for a few more breaths, just staying with ourselves, our breaths, and our babies. Slowly deepen the breath. Hands come together at the heart, open the eyes. And that's where we'll finish for today. Thank you for joining me. I wish you a lovely pregnancy and birth. Namaste.